that. We gotta change up that tarp soft photo in the intro.
If anybody wants to know how important Dakota Josh was to the Vancouver Canucks, that was the game. Okay, so condiments. This is everything. This
Everything. So we run the gamut completely, right? And
I'm talking about sriracha on the bottle.
Sriracha?
Sriracha. It's that silent R that screws me up.
Is it a silent R?
I don't know, like who's tall?
Who's tall?
Chris Pronger, wasn't he tall?
Chris Pronger was tall, yeah.
Welcome to the PP1 podcast.
Are you kidding me? That's what?
Man, it's good every time. Welcome back, Ted. We got another wicked one. We've been off for 2 weeks.
Where you been?
We're back. I just got stuff, man. Like I got kids, we got sports, finishing things up, got a job. Oh, it's busy. Whatever. It's fine. Welcome to the PP1 podcast on the Area 51 Sports Network. I'm Ryan with my good friend Ted. No, I take that back. It's just another Ryan. He's just looking for a place to break out. Looking for a place
To happen.
Ryan Schaap.
Getting lost along the way.
That'll be here in a second, but I figured you're not feeling great, so you're a guest. Come on in, and you know how our show rolls. Ryan Schaap, how you doing, man?
I'm sick, but other than that, I'm quite cabin fevery. So the combination of I've had about 2.5 days where I've kind of worked, but really just like unless something was really pressing, I haven't done much. So when you asked me earlier this week, I was like, maybe I'm not. I'm sick, but then like once I could do something that wasn't looking at my phone under a blanket on the couch, I'm like, let's go.
It's some kind of commitment. It's something. Someone's relying on us. Like I got to do it. Why? Because someone is relying on me, and it's not
absolutely
my pillow and my blanket. But we all got to get the six every now and then, just to feel that we're normal human beings, right? And you're like you even dressed up for this occasion.
I've got a shirt on underneath. It's from the boxing gym I go to, Griffin's Boxing in North Van.
Oh yeah, the Harry Potter one you keep talking about.
But it's covered in chip crumbs and I've wiped my hands on it. I've also had chips for dinner. So
okay, let's get into this. What kind of chips are we talking about? Is this like Doritos? Are we talking Old Dutch? What are we doing? Okay.
So the perfect combination of chips is first you eat your Ruffles all dressed.
Okay, let's go.
And then your main event is your Doritos sweet chili heat.
Oh man. See, folks, this is what happens when you have no kids and you're just a professional married couple. You can do things like this. You can live freely.
You don't do Doritos first. You do Ruffles first because the flavor from the Doritos is too overpowering. So when you eat the all dress, they feel like a nothing burger. But it was sour cream and onion Old Dutch that Amanda got from the liquor store, and I went to town on them.
Wow! So you ate both bags?
No, there's only one bag. The trick is for all you chip heads out there, you don't get the big $5-6 bag or whatever it is. You get two of the like sensible size bags they sell out by the till or like at the front of the store. You buy two of those. It costs about a little bit less, maybe about the same, but you don't get the fat kid amount of chips. And so you can house them, but you don't feel shitty. So that's my chip hack. Enough about that. Ted's here.
Hey, Ted, you are looking smart today.
I can agree with the chip hack. I do the same thing.
Do you?
The two small bags?
The two small bags. The only level up on the chip hack is to always buy salt and vinegar because you can only eat so many salt and vinegar chips. You just can't dummy a whole bag if you're on the salt and vinegar.
It's like a pineapple. You're like your body refuses you to eat that much of it. Now my palate is not. I'm not a fan of salt and vinegar. But I understand what a high quality flavor it is. I understand that like it's it is the chip, and I accept that, but it's not for me. So
Interesting. So you guys want to see how I do chips? So I just did this the other day. So, I've got kids who, well, Ted, they just eat everything. So that kind of sucks. So
you gotta feed
what
them
I
2-3
do when we
times
do
a day, I've heard.
They're so
It's
selfish.
just like
It's
it's just like
terrible.
a feedlot. Now it's getting a little personal because that was me, and now I'm realizing that I was that, and I'm thinking, man, my parents just kept buying this stuff. It's expensive. So what I do, you go and you buy your chips. Now the thing is, I usually do like the after work thing because usually we've got all the lunches for the week. So I'm kind of in charge of like midweek if we run out of like kids snacks for lunches. So and you run out of some things from the weekend. So I grab a few bags of chips. But as I'm getting to the till, Ryan, this is where I bring in kind of what you've done. I go and get that one little bag. So I've prepared myself for like the chip meal later. So I know what I really, really want, but I need a fix right now. So I go and get that little bag of, it's usually they got that combo of Doritos right now, like the ranch and whatever, a dill pickle or
Cool
something
Ranch.
like that. Cool Ranch. So I
Been
chill
around
with
for
that.
30 years, man.
Not the combo though.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
fine.
It's like a hybrid combo. So like I rock that on the drive home. Usually it doesn't see the light of day, and I put it in the garbage can behind the driveway, so there's no evidence,
Hell yeah.
obviously.
Hell
And then
yeah.
you've got the normal groceries, and you bring for everyone else. And so later on, when you're watching the game or some Netflix or something, like, oh yeah, we got chips, and you're like, this is just like this. I prepped myself for this. I was a grown up. I planned, but I still got my little teaser before the actual chip meal.
I,
And then you're not-
I can get down with this method for sure. And
It's a
and,
good-
and it, go ahead.
It's a good method
Sorry.
because there's nothing more bush league than coming home with an open bag of chips. Like
Can't do it.
It's not a good look.
I was
Yes.
just gonna say, there's nothing like when you make the mistake one time walking into the house with a half open bag of chips, or you're chucking it in the garbage, right?
You can't, man. You can't. It's not good.
And I know we're on the topic of chips, and this is very obviously why we have so many listeners and followers, because we take so long to get to talk about Canuck stuff. Like I don't know, the spicy dill pickle chip I thought was like the shit, and it's still
You
so
can have
good.
too
But
much.
I found you can definitely have too much. But there's like this new President's Choice brand version, which is like they also do a spicy dill pickle.
Huh.
And it may even be better because they just load so much dill on there. It's
Interesting.
I think I'll get a bag right now.
Hell
Like
yeah.
the super dill pickle.
Yeah, it's
I
like
think I've had
loaded
that.
dill
It's-
pickle. Yeah,
I mean,
that's a great jersey, Ryan. Nice. Yeah, loving that.
Thank you. My shirt underneath it is covered in chip crumbs and wiped hands. I'm
that's
homesick.
where we got on this topic. So,
Ted,
Ted, welcome back from holidays, by the way. Tofino, I hear.
Yeah.
Where'd you stay?
We got a little Airbnb.
Yeah.
Just a little past. I can't remember what the past the break is.
Yeah.
Like past the break, little shopping area and stuff. So just like kind of just across the street from Tofino Brewing. So we had like waterfront, and we kind of had to hike down through a little bit of a trail, just literally a stone's throw away. So we go play on the beach every morning, go flip rocks and stuff with the kids.
Perfect.
Can't think of anything I'd rather do than flip rocks on the beach and watch crabs crawl around.
Yeah, we're big Tofino and Ucluelet heads, so
yeah,
it's the place. It's worth it every time.
I can't
and
spell
maybe
Ucluelet.
yeah, maybe you'll agree with me on this too, Ryan. I think that Ucluelet is like crazy underrated. I mean, it's cheaper to stay there. It's literally just a quick burn down the road if you want to go spend the day in Tofino. Like it's got its own little hikes around if you go down to like Lighthouse Beach. Pretty outstanding spot. So I'd recommend anybody that goes to Tofino, like, don't sleep on Ucluelet.
Yeah, it's like staying in Squamish and then going skiing in Whistler.
Yeah.
Like you can save a few $100, and you know what? Like we surf, and surfing is quite the process. Oh, I might sneeze. So it's a lot of work. So you just tack on another 20 minutes of driving. Like who cares? And yeah, it's sneaky, nice little town.
I love it. Speaking of sneaky, we forgot to let everybody know, you guys. So we're able to have our intro song. We got to thank Jesse Roper. It's Two Wolves. We're gonna go see him end of this month, dude. We're gonna go see it, and then 3 days.
Roper.
3 days before that is Bush and Filter. So and Rival Sons, I think. Yeah, that's gonna be a decent week. Can't wait.
Speaking of the island, Jesse Roper.
Is this like a Rock the Lake thing?
This is going to be no. These are just two different concerts.
Where's Roper playing?
The Creekside Theater in Lake Country.
Okay.
He usually
It's-
plays at the last couple times he's played at Redbird, so local brewery
Which
in
is
town.
killer.
Which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
also kind of funny. Redbird being the name of one of his albums.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yep.
he's that guy. That guy
Absolutely.
rocks. He's so good.
If I remember correctly, he has the Hurricanes "I" song, which is really good.
Which was on Hockey Night in Canada.
It is a
one
banger.
Yes, it was.
It's a banger.
One of those
It's a banger.
famous montage videos.
Every time. If it ever happens, I'm always making sure. So, Ted, there's a couple things. We've been off for 2 weeks, and we're going to get to hockey. The Canucks haven't earned exactly all of their portion of the show, so we're going to get there in a minute. There's a few things. So, since the last time we podcasted, I've been to Peachland, and coming back from whether you're coming back from the Connector, you're coming back from Peachland, just as you come into West Kelowna, there are two signs that greet you right before the Boston Pizza and the little farmer's market. And it's a guy who got burned on Quest Trade for what sounds like about $70,000. So do not, what did it say? Do not invest with Quest Trade. And then about 2 minutes driving later, I lost X amount of Quest Trade. So someone in West Kelowna is not a big fan of Quest Trade. Have you met this guy?
I have not. You know what? I got to be honest. I had no idea what you're even talking about.
Oh man! So you're gonna have to drive out of town for like 5 minutes and then come back.
So this guy lost all his money, but he lost just enough that he could still buy a billboard or two billboards.
And they're not even. It's like the typical ones, like where you see like people write beef jerky when they're advertising for like a farmer's market, and then the next one's like fresh produce. It's like those little rectangle signs.
Gotcha.
You're not going to convince anybody with those. You're not.
Yeah. Is this like the guy that drives around in the old Toyota truck with like the billboards on the back that says ourcourtsuck.com?
I mean, he's probably friends with them.
He's just been. I mean, this guy's been around since my childhood. Still driving this truck around. I feel like
Him and the Jedi guy and the Jedi bike guy, maybe. Totally different dude. And then finally, I texted you this the other day. So I set a new record. Ted and I have this funny running joke going on. So I'm going to ask you, Ryan. Maybe you'll have a good answer. Like, what is an acceptable amount of time to stare at someone when you're both at the urinal? Not looking down, just staring them in the eyes. What's an I don't know. You just catch a glare for a second.
So you're standing beside some guy.
There's no right or wrong answer.
You're sorry.
What
Let
do
me.
you feel?
There's
You're in the row.
if you've got your if you've got whatever you're using to urinate in your hands, then it's 0. The best, if one of you is walking up and you get the person peeing's attention, that's also fine, but it should be brief.
So I joked to Ted, I set the new record this week, 8 seconds. Now,
8 seconds is a long time.
after 2, he said, please stop. And that's how I broke the record, the extra 6.
That's a rodeo. That's how long you ride a bull for.
Hey, man, when you got to go, you got to go.
Why were you looking at this person in the eyes?
I don't know. It's just a funny thing we do.
Who?
Who?
Ted, I thought you did this too. I thought that was the joke.
No,
Who
man.
did
You
you
asked
look-
me what's an acceptable amount of time, and to which I replied, a quick accidental glance,
Yeah.
Back
an
to
acknowledgement, maybe a bro nod, and then back to work.
Okay.
That's it.
So I'm going to get it back down to at least below
I
2
do
seconds.
feel bad if after all this time you've been standing at the urinals staring at people directly, eye
Yeah.
contact, because you thought it was like this thing we were competing in. So I apologize if that was the case.
I
What?
thought
Where were you peeing?
Oh, everywhere. This is hockey rinks or
But
wherever.
this is a specific time where you looked at a person for 8 seconds.
Oh, you just wherever.
Where
Whatever.
was it?
Where was it? That's a good question.
It's probably at some rink when the
He's
girls
full
were
of shit. He doesn't. He's making.
I don't- I don't know if I
No,
believe
most
it.
of the time
It's
it's
a
at
long
the rink when I'm there.
if you're having a
Oh,
conversation,
we were just at
with
Beach
someone-
Boys. That's where it was. Old dude.
If you're having a conversation
Yeah.
with someone and dead air
Yeah.
fits for 5 seconds, that's too long.
5.
So 8 seconds to
Okay.
stare at somebody. I mean,
You went to see the Beach Boys?
Yeah, for free. It was awesome.
Can I tell you something? I have a question.
Yeah, man, fire away.
Okay, so I've been low key fascinated because the Beach Boys announced this like Canadian tour, and as
Yeah.
like we're all getting older, those guys like Mike Love or whatever is like is like 80 something. Like they are
84.
old and dusty and shitty, and don't have good politics. So when they announced that they were playing Doug Mitchell at UBC, and I'm like, who's going to this? And I was looking at ticket sales, and I would look probably once a week at the ticket sales for the Beach Boys out at UBC, and they were abysmal. So, how full was the rink in Kelowna?
So this is a funny story, actually. So we were offered tickets. My boss, they're good friends with one of the radio stations. Just we've advertised with them in the past, and they've had a good relationship. Anyway, so I find out on like the Friday, like a couple days before, hey, does anyone want to go to the Beach Boys? I'm like, you know what?
No.
I got nothing to do Monday night. I mean, it's you just get it off the list. Ended up being a really good show. I'll get to that in a second. So I'm like, why not? Whatever. So clearly the radio had a ton of seats available because I'm like, well, how many can I have? They're like, well, how many do you need? That was all I needed to know, basically. I'm like, sounds like this wasn't a very good selling concert, obviously. We get there. I would
I've already
say
forgotten who the headliner is.
yeah, they were the opening and headliner. They put yeah. I would say they were probably at 85% capacity for
Oh, that's
Kelowna.
fine.
I was beyond shocked because I looked, I'm like, oh, this place is gonna be empty. And it looked for a while. I would say 2 songs in, that place was just rocking. These
There's a lot
guys,
of-
and I'll give them credit. They had a 20-minute intermission after about an hour and 20 minutes. They played straight for almost an hour and 20 minutes. I'm talking like no chitter chatter, no funny stories, just like here's this one, and they just crushed. Then they had their big break because they're old, like they said. And
Very
then they
old.
did the same. Then they did the same thing for like another hour and 10 minutes. They crushed 2 hour, like almost 2.5 hours straight with the break of music. It was incredible. Like it was a marathon of music. So I agree with you. Not exactly the first concert I'd want to go to, but for free, it was pretty good. Just saying. I mean, the Beach Boys don't suck, but you know, Mike Love didn't exactly put his all into it because he's 84. But you know, it was still a pretty decent concert. He had his son there. There was like 9 people on stage. It was a full-on band, saxophone, a couple keyboards. It was a good time. It was a good freaking time. And now I can mark them off my list. There you go.
Yeah, was that on your bingo list heading into this episode?
It-
Discuss the Beach Boys experience.
It wasn't on anybody's bingo list. I promise you that. So, but you know what? You know what it is on our bingo list? Talking about the Canucks and how much they suck.
It's a bingo card, you schmucks. Come on.
Well, we all have bingo cards. So my bingo card, we all have. Shut up. I don't like it when people call me out. It's not good for business. It's true, but hey, you're right.
He's going to have to take a mulligan
one.
on that one.
Oh man. Okay, you can come back. So the Canucks are 8 points out. It's not
They're
looking
dead.
good. They are like last night. I spent most of the third period putting away laundry in a different room. Wasn't good, man. Like I looked and I'm like, I just don't think this game is going anywhere. It wasn't fun to begin with, and I'm just sitting out there and I'm listening, and then I hear that last 5th goal go in. I'm like, yeah, I made the better decision here. I really did. I had a clean room at that point, and it wasn't going well. And that game, it was just tough. It was tough to watch. It was really tough.
Death, taxes, and doing menial chores around the house with the game slightly in earshot. That's something we all know and experience very well.
Mm-hmm.
Lots been getting done lately around the house.
You put up that new shelf, Ted?
It's up, yeah.
Yeah.
That one went up early.
Yeah, it's we talked about this probably halfway through the season. Like, did we just buy in so much to what we believed that team was last year? And we were just so naive to think like that it was possible to get something even close to what that was. I think we were. I mean, it felt so real that I think we were just completely clouded with our judgment on this. What do you guys think?
I don't know if I was like completely bought in. I think my expectation was not that these guys were just gonna like run roughshod over the league. It was I kind of felt like based on some of the losses that they had, and then they were big important losses by some pretty key guys, that this was always going to feel a little bit more like this team needs to sort of overachieve if they're going to do anything special this year, right? I don't think I had expectations of them being like in the third round or battling till the end of the second, but I did see them making the playoffs. So I am like a bit shocked, sort of watching the season wrapping up, that the team wasn't going to be better. I think like large amounts of infighting really, like almost like things were sort of mismanaged on the whole with everything. And I think that sort of like, I don't know if it's like misdirection sort of trickled its way down to the roster, and this team was just never really able to get going, even though they got dealt a pretty raw card at the beginning of the season with all those injuries. So it was kind of tough to watch, but I didn't expect it to be this bad, but I expected him to overachieve to do anything this year.
I think it was everybody got drunk off the success, and just about every level of the organization did, and the fan base and the media. And this was a Stanley Cup contender going into the season going into this season. I kind of how quickly we forget how we, very methodically covered this team, going, well, they shouldn't be this good, but okay, this is nice. And then at some point that disappeared, and it was, they'll never, this is the best team ever. And the management thought that because they would do some cheap replacements of players. They didn't fix their goal scoring. They, ownership thought that they raised ticket prices 25%, and fans, they capped it out. Everybody bought tickets, and people collectively forgot that this team was just a strange anomaly last year. And I think the realists would go, okay, well, things aren't going to go as great as they did last year. Everybody was healthy. Nobody got hurt. Maybe the fact that this organization will have some stability, it would be kind of nice to follow and watch along, but the exact opposite happened, and the bottom fell out of this, and they made some really bad decisions, and this colossal turd of a year was capped off with them doing the dumbest possible thing they could do with the trade deadline. And now here we are watching them lose 5-0 to an injured Seattle Kraken team. So everybody got their slice of humble pie. Everybody got their reality check. And I could tell you this, it's going to be a lot easier to get season tickets this year.
Yeah.
Like maybe we should go in halfers, Dad.
Maybe that's how we do it, right? I mean, there was so many things that you hit on there that just make sense. And this getting drunk off the success thing, I think, is like, that should be the theme this year. Like, really, I mean, even when you go back to, feeling like they were smarter to let Zadorov walk, and that we can plug this hole and fix this problem with a Forbort and a Desharnais. Like, they placed bets where they thought maybe they were being smart, but there was a reason that these guys, I mean, Desharnais was so useless. It's such a misfit for this team. It's not like he can't play. Forbort's been good in a limited role this back half of the season.
He's a nice to have.
Yeah, but he's a luxury, right? Like, there's all these guys that I think that they thought they were smarter than they really were, and then got away from what they were doing the year prior, which was smart bets the whole way down.
They went and they had, like, so many players had Roman candle seasons, and like, that's great. And I think that, even the biggest of, fanboys, fan people, that, absolute homers of this team could go, okay, well, I don't think Dakota Joshua can do that again. But he showed a lot of promise. I don't think, outside of Connor Garland, like, nobody has really replicated the year they had. Brock Besser scored 40. Thatcher Demko was seemingly healthy the whole time.
Perfect storm.
Pius Suter, you have these guys that excelled at the wrong time. They excelled on a contract year. So you re-sign Dakota Joshua. They re-signed somebody else too. I can't remember who it was. But then this year, Pius Suter excels. He takes, they say, hey, we have no centers. Play your absolute best. In the contract year, when you could probably get a nice return for him, he plays out of his mind. Like he's gonna get like a $6 million deal next year, and like good for him. But like there was nothing strategic about this approach. So I think it's just a kick in the ass when you realize that, last year you assumed that this organization is looking to build a champion, and the organization is just getting orders to get 2 playoff games, and it's a hard pill.
I agree. It stinks of Radim Verbata and Dan Hamhuis. Like it's.
But even if they're
because that's like a comparison to the old regime who we all hate.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm speaking for you guys, but like,
I
don't want to make comparisons from this regime to that regime, but like some of the things it's kind of ugly.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted playoff games, if you wanted 2 home playoff games, then they should have bought, right? I mean, at the very least, if that was the goal, was to get to the playoffs, then they should have bought. Whatever, right? I mean, if that was the end game from up top, if Francisco is like, listen, I need to feel good. I need to see a few extra bucks in the stands, make a few, extra bucks in merchandise, whatever, then buy. Then make some stupid moves or be like, wow, this will be fun for 2 months and get it over with. But they didn't even do that. And now we're all thinking like, well, at the very least, you could have sold something and at least given us a chance for next year. We're aware that they're not winning the cup this year. We thought differently at the beginning of the year. but now you look at it and think, okay, we've seen a whole season. Clearly things aren't going our way, whether it's injuries, infighting, whatever. There's been a lot of stuff that's happened this year. But, at least salvage whatever you have and think, okay, like any good sports franchise, all right, well, let's sell off this. Let's build for next year. And let's really give it a fighting chance when everybody's healthy, when we get a full training camp of whatever the new roster looks like and all that. But we still have, a coach that they're saying may or may not be here next year if, the whole Philly thing comes up. And we know how rumors work in the NHL. There's usually where there's smoke, there's fire. You got the whole thing about, the whole Pedersen thing. We've got Brock Besser. We've got Suter. Lankinen signing, the insurance contract if Demko continues to get injured. Like there's all these other things. And we think like, guys, if we see it as the fans, you have to be able to see this as management that's in control of all these crazy big contracts. Like your job is to make sure that next year your job is maybe a little bit easier, not more difficult. Like you shouldn't be going into July 1 thinking like, geez, we got to hit a home run somewhere because we got nothing to go on right now.
Well, they need to. This organization, this front office has been in place since December 2021. They're long in the tooth now. They've shown what they can do. They've shown their strengths. They've shown their weaknesses and their shortcomings. They've shown that they can be good at pro scouting. They've shown that they are good at manipulating RFAs into signing long-term. And they've also shown that they don't know what is happening in their dressing room, and they trade the wrong player, and then they have to trade a very good player who's also equally annoying. Like we went through for years, we would go through Jim Benning's his signings, his trades, his way, everything. And he'd be batting at 500. And don't know about you, but like it's starting to, the success rate for Rutherford and Alvin isn't the best. And then they're kind of showing their asses. And they're looking like, they're in win now mode. They're in protect their neck mode.
They're staring too long at the urinal is what they're doing.
They're staring too long at the urinal. And to chime in on what Spider Soul here said, I don't think Rick Tockett's leaving. I think that somebody literally just thought out loud going, Torts got fired. I bet you Rick Tocchet would like that job. And then
It fits perfect, right?
this snowball clusterfuck. And yeah, it's like he has an option. He's not going anywhere. You want to know who else is not going anywhere? Quinn Hughes. But this market will spend an entire year telling you that he is going to be gone. So burn it all down and salt the earth.
So what is the reasoning behind standing pat at the deadline? Is it that that it's actually more difficult to sell a breakdown to your team than it is to sell a breakdown to a fan base? Because I think we would get it if they were going to try to reload for next year and sell off parts. Because the only thought there to me is that the management is doing everything they can to keep Tocchet and Hughes happy long term, so that this doesn't become a problem down the road. Like, is that what's going on here, or is it something different? Is it just mismanagement?
Was it money talk? Like, do they actually just think by not doing anything that they just, like everyone talked about, like Besser being their own rental? Like, did they just go in like, hey, things are finally starting to figure themselves out after the whole drama thing happened? And do you think that they thought like, hey, if this little thing can solve itself, we're not playing terrible. Our goaltending has been pretty decent. The defense is looking a lot better with the ads of both Petterssons. Maybe things aren't so terrible. So maybe we just hold and we don't sell and we don't buy and we just play with what we got, and maybe it'll be okay. Well, that didn't work.
Because it doesn't make any sense. Like, you are looking at the investments you hold in your hand, and it's Brock Besser and it's Pius Suter. And these are guys that are going to get gigantic paydays. They're going to, they are going to get their bag, and that's perfectly fine and reasonable. But if as an organization, you know what? Brock Besser isn't very consistent. Brock Besser doesn't really have that dog in him. We all love him as a person, and we identify with the challenges that he has gone through, and like, God bless that boy and everything, but he's gonna cost too much. And I think collectively, nobody really is gonna miss him that much. We watch him every night. We know what he is and what he is and what he can be. So, like, if you're gonna price yourself, you're gonna price yourself out of Besser, why are you holding on to him? And the same with Suter. So it all comes down to, I feel like the Canucks management approached the deadline and the final run to the playoffs the way they've approached everything in their tenure here. And they've said it a few times, and they can't sound any dumber than when they say it. If everything goes right, I could see this team making the playoffs. And that's exactly what they did. If everything goes right, if Thatcher Demko can be consistent and healthy, if Elias Pettersson can get his groove back, if Philip Hedl is not done, his career is not done, I could see them pushing to the playoffs. And then what happens? Half of your top six gets injured. Okay. Did anybody think about that? No. But if everything goes right.
And that's one of the key ones that they've had to rely on the last 5 years. I mean, Demko was healthy last year. That was the first year where we got, like, it was basically, we'll call it like the bubble Demko for reference, but everything went well, including the one thing that hasn't been healthy for decades. And obviously I'm exaggerating, but now they have this thing. Well, of course, again, when push comes to shove, he gets injured and we're thinking, great. Well, and that's, the slow fall. Now it's like, okay, well, everything isn't going perfect anymore. It almost did. And, we start this season and think, wow, we've been waiting for this perfect thing to happen for 7 months, and it's not even good yet. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating, but I mean, we got all summer to wax poetic about it. I know, Rye, you gotta head out here, buddy. We're gonna leave you. You can be here as long as you want.
Well, I thought we agreed that I'd have a safe word, but are you gonna do one little goodbye segment for me?
Oh, fine. Okay, so
you're gonna let him pick a squad? Is that what's happening?
No, he's gonna have to come back for something like that. That takes too long. That's like a 20-minute segment.
I got lots of time in my hands, just not tonight.
Okay, yeah, we'll have you back. We might need you to come back next week. Ryan is, I'm sure you guys know because you probably listen to his show more than ours. He is the guy, one of the main reasons that this show got up and running properly. And he ended, well, not him, him and his crew, his band of merry humans, homies, Pucks on Net. They have announced that they've had their final show after 11 years. They are now going into the sunset. They're riding out on their horses, and they're looking forward to the next chapter in their lives, whether it be another podcast or maybe an OnlyFans. I don't know. You never know. Like, money's tight these days. Maybe just go buy a bunch of eggs and do some weird stuff with them and just prove that you can money.
Money's
Like,
tight.
you know how much eggs are? Like,
Blizzard
look at
right
this.
now.
Or just buy blizzards all around town and just turn them upside down just for like satisfaction. I don't know. But they had a good run. They've been supporters of our show. Obviously, vice versa. We've definitely supported them. Ryan was there when we first got started, and I asked him pretty much every technical question I didn't quite know yet, but wanted to make sure. He was the reason I had to buy 2 mixers instead of 1. We had a great week that week. You got to get this one. Oh, you need a USB. Oh yeah, you're going to need a different one. Thankfully, Amazon was super quick during those times. But no, a great friend, and they had such a great show going on, and now they're moving on to other stuff. But I thought, I'm like, you know what? Just like anybody else, like, you're not quite ready to hang it up, and this is a perfect way to kind of scratch the itch for a little bit and make him feel a little bit better after he's been sick for a few days. So I just looked, I'm like, oh, it feels good getting Ryan on because he's always a good time. And no, like I said, you guys had such a great show, and you brought a lot of laughs, and I mean, content, man. Like, people figured out how to do it well before everyone else, and we were the well after, and Pucks on Net was getting it done. And there was a time I said to Ted, I'm like, I think we could do this podcast thing. It seems like there's a space for us. So Ryan was a big fan of that, and he championed us into existence as well. So congrats. That was quite the run. And feel free to sell your followers over to us. We would appreciate that.
I can do that.
It's tough to follow this up, but I think I just want to add that I thought the greatest thing about your guys' shows, the takes were always real and they were great. And you guys did such a good job of making it seem like not a show, and it was just a conversation you were sitting in on. So kudos to you guys.
That is what we strive to do each and every week. So I appreciate those very kind words. And yeah, Ryan did bug me consistently for those weeks leading up to the podcast, launching the PP1 podcast. But I think we went full circle when we were going to do our Pucks Net post-game show during the mirage in the desert that was the Canucks playoff run last year. Ryan was helping me figure out StreamYard, so I felt like we came full circle in our little podcasting journey, and so it was very.
I remember that. Yeah, we did a dud episode and just going through all the things, and it's fun. It was a lot of fun, and you get to learn all the bells and whistles. But yeah, no, we're gonna miss you guys, and obviously, I know Ryan, you said you've got some stuff up and coming, so make sure you support whatever his next projects are, and you guys will do great.
Can you share a little bit about what you got going on coming up here?
I'm producing a AEW Twitch stream on Wednesday nights, the Wednesday night show called AE Double Dudes. That's at twitch.tv/wrestlingbrain. I have a lot of fun doing that. And there's 3 things in life that I love in no particular order. It's the White Stripes, wrestling, and the Vancouver Canucks. So I've done the Canucks coverage. I'm now doing wrestling thing, and I'm going to be launching a White Stripes podcast, because there is no podcast about my favorite band, the White Stripes.
Crazy.
And I've got a very good idea, and I can't wait to launch it. And it'll be launching very soon.
Interesting.
Got a good gimmick.
White Stripes are pretty good. I like that. I mean, if Jack White's available every single week, I think you got yourselves a hit there.
I need him at least 3 times, and that's part of the gimmick.
Okay.
Right.
I love it.
I'm getting out of your hair. I have to watch Will and Grace with my wife, so I will talk to you boys later. Don't hesitate to ask to have me come back.
Good luck. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Beauty.
See ya.
Talk to you later, Ren. He's good people.
Yeah, he's great.
He's good people. He is such a pro. Yeah, it was a bit of a shock.
We never got to have our baseball tournament of podcast champions.
The Orthodox, the
but,
Jewish Orthodox baseball.
Maybe we'll have to get that up off the ground here again and see if we can put some sort of game together.
People got to come to Kelowna. We're not coming to Vancouver. You're going to come out here.
It's fine.
We could do.
We'll go stay with the Fijians. They'll feed you. You can have some.
We could get Faber. He'll play.
Yeah, that's good. Faber can just be like honorary.
Yeah, it'll be DH.
Yeah,
you and him should be DH because you both just hit dingers. I feel.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. This is going to be the first year back to baseball. Also, these non-alcoholic beers that Deschutes make are delicious.
Interesting.
So good. Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, I got it. It's been a minute. So yeah, follow our show on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. Comment along like Grant. He's a loyalist. Not in that sense, obviously. It's like, did you just? Yeah. Sorry about that.
He's not a loyalist. He's loyal.
He's loyal. That's totally different. So a couple things. Andrei Kuzmenko is having himself a time in LA.
We're going back into connection. I thought we were just going to do the.
Thing. Oh yeah, I got a couple quick things, and then we'll get into.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. I'm just so distracted.
I know it's squirrel. So yeah, Kuzmenko loving it in LA. Him and Kopitar making some stuff happen. He's going to be in the playoffs. The Canucks aren't going to be in the playoffs. And I swear, if they go on any kind of a run, there's going to be so many sour people about that. And we're all going to, the real people will say, listen, it wasn't working here. The coach didn't like him. It wasn't working here. He had to move on. And he didn't even work in Calgary. But it's one of those, is it one of those things where like you have to move a few times before you figure it out?
Probably. Like it must be. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. He's such a confusing guy. Like it never ever seemed like that it was going to work out when he went to Calgary, and then lo and behold, he had a couple of games where he just looked unreal. Like we saw the absolute worst of Andrei Kuzmenko, and I think we saw the best.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know how we got
both
that good or that bad. I think he gets, shit on a little bit. I don't think that he's going to turn into a 40 goal scorer again. I don't know what it was during that season that he was so good.
Yeah.
He was, go back and watch like the chemistry that him and Petey had. There was some pretty special stuff there, and he was doing some amazing things. It didn't seem like there was a lot of fluky shit going on. So, I mean, it's good to see him get back to it and playing well, but I just I hope he figures it out. He's such a great character. He reminds me of like Munenori Kawasaki or those guys that are just these off the wall great interviews. He's such an awesome personality. So I want it to work out with him. And if it's in LA, like really, could there be a better spot for it to work out for him?
He'll be loved too. Like LA loves their hockey. They love their baseball and they love their Lakers. But if you've been to any Kings games when they're winning, man, it's insane. It is insane. You can't beat it.
I want it to work out with him. There's all these great, Canuck personalities that when they left the team, we were so bummed out, and that, it makes me, think of Eddie Lack and it makes me think of Kevin Bieksa. And, I was just wanted these guys to continue to get the limelight. He's only going to get it if he's playing really well. But man, I mean, his personality, could you imagine him if he became a star? Like how funny those interviews would be. He's
like, he would be, and please do not take this the wrong way, but like Ovi light, like the personality wise.
Yeah.
Like he loves the game. He's like, he does all those, he does the fun hockey play. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Grant says he looks like he checked out the LA practice facility when he was down there a few weeks ago. Super cool. It just makes me want the Canucks to have like an on-campus practice facility. It just seems so strange that that's not a thing yet.
Well, blueberry sales are down, so
sure,
it's not working. Speaking of Ovi, 2 away from tying, 3 away from the record. And Crosby just got the record for most point per game seasons, so he beat Gretzky's 19 years to 20. How amazing would that be if both of those guys are able to to get a Gretzky record in the same season, like a significant one.
Yeah.
I mean, OV1 is the one we're all talking about, obviously, but
Is the Sid points per game record that was like when Gretzky was the longtime holder of that record, or has it been close?
Yeah.
Or
19 seasons he had a point per game.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, really, like it's been such a treat, like watching these two guys basically from the start, right? Right down to
Or before.
the NHL commercials with the Swedish Twins and the playing pranks on each other when they were like, both coming up, and and they never let this rivalry become a bad thing. Like they were willing participants together the whole way, I think, to grow the game, and they've been such good ambassadors, and they're not done yet, but you kind of, it's like almost like watching LeBron like 3 years ago and be like, this could be the last season, right? And now it's like Braun's still going.
Yeah.
But these guys can still play. Like they're not hanging on. Like they're gamers.
And it's not like they can still play. Like Ovi's having this season, and last year was pretty good too, but like he's having a banger of a season this year.
Yeah, like Sid wants to play in the Olympics, man. Like don't get it twisted. Yeah, don't get it twisted. These guys are still cream of the crop. They're not the top of the tier, right? But they're right there.
Mm-hmm.
They're still very, very good. I think go back to those years when you had Gretzky's and Lemieux playing, but there was also very good players in the league, like a Ron Francis or a Sakic or an Yzerman, who were just elite, but they weren't with those two guys, right? And they're not those two guys anymore, but they're still so elite, and they're still so fun to watch too.
Like that, you could still. It's wild to think that as fantasy hockey players, I mean, I suck at fantasy hockey, but that the fact that those would be two guys that you could. It doesn't sound right, but you could be drafting super high still.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, think of any sport where a guy that's played that long is still performing that high. It's tough. In any sport, it's tough. There's a handful of guys that can do it. I mean, and Aaron Donald is a great example. But even still, like, they only go so long. Like, you can't do pro sports forever. And there's a reason that they get paid millions of dollars, because it doesn't last that long. And then you've got guys that are clipping on 20 seasons. And Ovechkin is a great example of almost a cautionary tale of the way he played. You thought he probably would have had half the career he had just because he was so reckless with how he used his body, like in the first kind of third of his career. And then it just worked to his advantage. And here we are talking, he's a hat trick away from the all-time goal lead.
Yeah,
it's bonkers.
It's insane. I mean, and I'm sure that when the decline comes, it'll be sharp, right? I mean, we remember, Yager looking really productive at 40, 42, 43, right? And then had a season, shows up in Calgary, and then it's just like, oh, like he didn't have it anymore, right? I think of Brett Hall. I think of Chris Chelios and Timu Solani, right? These guys just looked like they were never going to slow down. Like, oh man, like he could play this game forever, right? Just playing like that. And then in the final year, it's just like they're just done, right? And I think a lot of guys, and there's so few of them, I think, those elite players that want to just like hang around forever.
Yeah.
And I think Crosby will go gracefully. He'll go out while he's still good.
You think?
I don't think he's going to be 45 points Sidney Crosby. In plays a full season, puts up 45 points, and is like the league's best third liner. I don't think he's going to do that. I think that he'll just be like, now's my time. If I'm not elite, I'm not elite. But Ovi,
he holds that
man. Ovi looks like, I mean, if he went the Yammer Yager path,
he could play till he's 50.
The Jagomir Jeg path, right? I mean, he could just keep going, and he might be that guy that is popping 25 goals a year and will take second or third line minutes and is still physical. Like maybe he wants to do that. I mean, Yogs just hung him up, I think, officially this year, did he not?
Do you think he'd move? I think so. Do you think that this is an interesting conversation? Do you think Ovi would actually like move though? Do you think he would actually allow himself to be traded somewhere, or would he just do it in Washington?
I don't know. That depends on the Caps' appetite, I would think, right? But some of these guys are completely happy with taking a pay cut and continuing to grind out minutes. And I could just see him going the Yager path.
He's just so contagious. Like I'd imagine, like an Andrew Crystal, we've been talking about the last couple seasons. Like the way he's playing right now, could you imagine a season next year with Andrew Crystal having an opportunity to play with Ovi? The dude would be losing.
Ovi doesn't burn anymore. He's not out there blazing by guys anymore, right? I think Crystal, who's been criticized in the past of not being an extremely elite skater, his edge work's great. But speed wise, I mean, maybe he really thrives on a line like that with a big guy like Ovi making room for them, right?
It'd be a lot of fun. We're officially going to announce. I want to get this right. Get my buttons right. This is the first official episode with the new graphic. Are you ready for it? I don't even think I've shown you this. It's the debut, or the continuation anyway, but it's the debut of this graphic for Canucks GPT. There's us. There's us. So I didn't know which one we were going to do, and I threw this out to you. So we're going to do, the way we kind of talked about it in the text there, I'm assuming, yeah?
Sure, yeah.
So we're going to do, and it's too bad Ryan had to leave. I didn't know he was only going to be half hour, but we'll have to get him back. Maybe we add him in as like a triple threat. Ted said we should do a Survivor Series match. And we're doing Canucks players, or we're sticking with Canucks players for now?
Yeah, we might as well, yeah.
Okay.
No,
so this is going to be...
Two things you can do is you can make it all time, or you can just make it current roster.
Well, I mean, we've done a lot of current roster. So maybe let's do all time, make it fun.
Okay.
So, I'm just going to open up my notes app here. Continuation of, I got the Connors. Remember when I made you guess the Connors? That was fun. That was fun. Okay. So I went first last time, but because I'm such a nice guy, I'm going to let you go first this time. So we're going to pick, how many are we going to pick? 4 each?
Is that what it is in Survivor Series?
I think it's like 4. We'll do 4. It's just easier. Then you've got tags and stuff, right? So, and what are the rules for this? So we're picking guys, and is it just like first pinfall? Is it an elimination? What are we
doing? Dealer's choice. I'll leave it up to you.
Okay, I think we do. Grant, what do you think? Teams of 5 in Survivor? Okay, I wasn't quite. Okay, so we're gonna do teams of 5, and then we're gonna do elimination. That makes it fun. Okay.
Okay.
So you get first go.
Okay, I'm looking at a list here.
We got the all-time roster. I got to pull that up too.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at a list here, and a name is jumping out at me right away. Okay. How can you not take Todd Bertuzzi in this?
Oh man!
I mean he's he's got an assault charge.
And I screwed myself again.
Just a monster. I can't even remember. We're like we're in NFL stat keeping now, right? I mean, Todd Bertuzzi, 6'4", let's call it 6'5". He's probably 265 pounds, solid muscle. Obviously he was not those heights, but he would be if it was a WWF card. I could literally see this guy in his prime as a WWE wrestler. So I'm taking Todd Bertuzzi.
You're probably
I don't know
right.
how I can't. I don't know how I'm probably going to win this whole thing because I have Todd Bertuzzi.
I think. Okay, so I like that.
I think I'm right now.
I like it. Is there going to be any microphones? And it's.
Hey.
I don't know how I keep digging myself this hole every single time.
I think Mike Provo's probably help. Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're going to go with
You're muted. I think that's what's happened here. I think what
Am
this
I muted
probably
now?
actually is that Ryan, no, I can hear you now. This is probably just you stalling while you can frantically look through the list of who's
As I'm
available
freaking
for
out,
you.
how come none of it's working? You're thinking
Yeah.
I'm stalling and I'm freaking out. Like, do I have to reset? What am I doing?
Yeah.
As I
So
was-
things like cutting mic promos are going to have to be factored in.
okay, I like that. That's
Mic skills. We'll just
mic
list it as
skills.
mic skills or something.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I can match you on this. As much as Todd Bertuzzi's there, dude's got back problems. So you're going to be able to cut the big man down.
This is in their prime.
He had back problems in his prime, Ted.
You list it as in. You have to list it when you put in the GPT as in.
All
in
right,
their
prime Todd Bertuzzi, whatever.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
see if
gonna
GPT
go-
remembers back issues.
I'm going to go with, it doesn't even matter what era you throw this dude in. I think I can go toe-to-toe with you on this one. And I picked the Southpaw, Hockey Night in Canada himself, the man who he can fight. He'll fight his own team if he has to. You know him as Juice. I know him as Kevin Bieksa. Absolutely. And you know the dude's going to have the mic skills. Bertuzzi's going to be mumbling around. He's going to sound like Kane or something. Kevin Bieksa is going to talk him down. He's going to Y2J him. It's going to be awesome.
Okay,
Done.
I like that one. That's a good one.
Honestly, I'm fully confident I could still beat you with Kevin Bieksa, even though you got Todd Bertuzzi, which is a phenomenal pick. Number 2.
Okay, number 2. I feel like I need a big guy. I think I'm going to go back to that same era. And another name jumps off the chart, and it's Ed.
I know where you're
Jovanovski.
going. Oh, Jovo Cop.
It's got to be Jovo. I see your Kevin BX.
That's a wrestling name too. Jovo Cop. I like that.
Jovo. I think it twigs something in my brain here, and I think you're right. So Jovo was never known for being a tactical fighter, but that haymaker put an end to a lot of guys early in fights.
That's true.
This dude was running around, physical beast, just monster hits, and then he had a lot of offense too. So I'm thinking that's going to translate real well. Also known for being pretty chattery on the mic there. During interviews. So
yeah,
I'm gonna hit Ed Jovanovski on this one.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna steer a complete 180 for where this is going right now. And I'm gonna go just straight up like I need to win this match. And I mean, you know who's gonna win this match, Ted. Rest in peace. The Ripper, Rick Rippon.
Oh wow. I thought you were gonna go
I'm going for the win this time. I'm not going for to be cute. I got to think smart, and I think Rick, you're not going to see what's coming. Like you're gonna get car bombed, basically.
You're right. You get the fans in that one. And that's
people are gonna just lose it. They are gonna it's gonna be just mayhem. It's gonna be a car wreck. He's gonna go in there and just dominate. So yeah, Rick Rippon.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm going to go, and this is really tough for me because I think there's a couple of really close guys in here.
Michael Chaput. I know you were going to say Michael Chaput.
Oh, geez. Yeah. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna step it back one more, and I'm going to go for just a nasty piece of business. And I'm not sure I don't know what prime version of Alex Burrows I'm going to get. But I mean, is he not just Eddie Guerrero reincarnated?
Oh man,
Alex
Burrows.
Yeah,
okay.
Alex Burrows. I mean, I think we've completed.
No,
he's
Y2J. I think
Burrows
he's the Y2J.
There you go. He could be Jericho. So just so annoying, and just also annoying because he's so good. And he was so good in his prime to the point where he had Hockey Night in Canada and referees picking on him. And this guy was so annoying that Ron McLean picked a fight with Alex Burrows and made it his mission to talk poorly about him. So if he's in the old man's head, it's good enough for me.
So, oh man. Okay. I've got like 3 or 4 guys that I'm really like, what direction do I want to go? You know what? I want to have fun here. I need to win, but I'm going to have fun. This guy, like, he's going to get in the ring. He might cut a decent promo. He might. I'm not quite sure. But I know he's gonna help us win. And he might be like my middle elimination guy where he's probably gonna beat Alex Burrows. He might even beat Jovo. Which, but I might be down a guy at that point. I'm gonna need him to be like my middle reliever in the match when things maybe things aren't going well. The Irishman. Packard.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that's off the charts. That's
You know what you're getting with Pat Quinn.
yeah.
I don't even have to say.
I think you're either gonna win this thing because of Pat Quinn, or you're just gonna be an absolute dumpster fire because you picked Pat Quinn. But nobody questions the man's toughness.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe possibly a bit of an unknown. So that's 4. We've got 4 each here.
No, we got 3 each.
So 3 each, and are we doing 4 or 5? Sorry.
Let's. We could do 5. Do you want to do 4 and like a manager, or do you want to do 5? We could do 5. It's fine. There's a lot of players to choose from.
Yeah. Okay.
Neil Eisenhut still available.
Yeah. You know what? I think I feel like I've got almost a bit of this like Degeneration X thing going on, and I got to stick with it.
Okay.
So I just another piece of shit. I'm taking Ryan Kessler.
I think I was thinking about it. Yeah, it's a good group. That is a DX. That's a DX. Maybe. I mean,
it's pretty. It might be, except for you have the other member in BXS. So.
How do I make this an NWO? Who goes villain? Who's the golden boy that goes villain? Tom Fergus? No. Ooh, there's some gooders in here, man. Oh, like I want to go the obvious way of like the fighters and
do it.
You know what? We gotta have a good looking guy on the team, Ted. I mean, BX can't just do it on his own. We need a good looking guy. Ted. That's big. I need a good looking guy, Ted. That's physical.
Tell me can I guess? What
just
it is?
wait. Let me finish the promo. Let me finish first. I need a big guy. He's going to be there. He's going to look amazing. The fans are just going to go absolutely crazy. And he's just going to step in the ring. Hockey-wise, probably not going to get a lot. But in the wrestling ring, Ted, who's going to show up for my team?
Tell me it's Taylor Pyatt.
Oh.
No?
You got it wrong. A little more facial hair.
A big handsome guy.
Big handsome guy. I'm gonna hand this to you on a silver platter.
I don't know.
Come on. I'm talking about Eric Branson.
Oh yeah. He sure was handsome.
He was pretty good looking. And he's got some decent. He's funny. He's got some decent mic skills, I think.
Yeah, that is the weirdest pick ever. I can't believe how
Taylor
badly.
Pye. I don't even think if Taylor. I mean,
you said handsome. I don't know. Yeah,
Taylor Pye's pretty.
Handsome guy.
He's not handsome.
Sure. Okay, you got.
I mean, did your wife have his T-shirt?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, my wife did. So that's fair. So going in, you got Burt, you got Jovocop, you got Burrows and Kessler. I got Bieksa, Rippin, Pat Quinn, and Erica Branson. A heavy defense on my team.
Okay. So
one more.
Okay. So one more, and then just because it's fun, let's do a manager too.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Okay,
don't pick Cody Hodgson because I think I'm going to pick him.
No. So I'm going to take JT Miller. I'm just going to keep it right along the line there of guys that you just hate to play against. The kindest, softest guy on this team in terms of like being the villain is Ed Jovanovski. This is going to be a good team. You're just going to get destroyed, man. I don't know. Not looking good for you.
No, I'm pretty happy with what I got, but that's a good pick. I should almost pick Patterson just to make this fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to see PD fight though. Okay, I got to finish strong here.
What, you going manager?
No, I still got a
You got
player.
a player.
last year.
Okay. It's not your fault either, Ryan. I had the first pick, so
You know what? We're gonna get ugly. We're gonna make this is just an absolute unit. I totally forgot about this guy. I made a joke. Who did I make a joke about? Cody Hodgson, right?
yeah.
I'm going the other direction. Number
Do
9.
I get to guess on this one too? Oh, okay.
If you'd like to.
Cody Hodgson?
No. Zach Cassian.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Casquatch. This is a great pick.
I think it's a little ugly. We're not the prettiest group. We got a couple good lookers, but it's business. This isn't bushwhackers. This is we're getting Undertaker, we're getting Kane, we're getting the Acolytes, and we're getting The Rock. We got a pretty good squad. We don't have DX, but we got a pretty good fighting team, I think. I think I got a fighting chance. Who's your manager?
I'm looking at Grant's team here, and Grant's team's probably going to beat yours too.
Well, Grant. Who said Grant could do team?
Well, I'm just looking at it. It's got Tiger Williams, Max Lapierre, Matt Cook, Mark Messier's the heel, and Rafi Torres. That's a good team.
That is a good team.
It's a good team.
Matt Cook, Lapierre, Rafi Torres. How did we miss those guys?
So we're going manager. Like a coach.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a
GM
coach
or whatever, right?
No, it can be a player.
No, I'm going to go coach. I'm going to John Tortorella as manager.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, just a whiz on the mic. Picks fights in other teams' hallways.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he's got the coaching pedigree. He's got the cups. He can obviously lead teams to victory. Just didn't happen to work out in Vancouver. This could blow it for me. I could lose this all on him being too much of a psycho.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's going to pay off. I think it fits perfectly with my team. So happy with that pick.
I'm going to match you bar for bar here. This is Drake and Kendrick before Drake loses. I'm going to match you bar for bar. This is Watch the Throne kind of stuff. Also won a Stanley Cup. Also likes to talk. A little higher pitch than John Tortorella. And he's going to be able to call out your team when things are going wrong. When he's in the ring, all you're going to hear is, "Brr! How come you're getting pinned again? Brr!" Talking about Crow, Mark Crawford.
I love that one. That's a good one.
That is good. Okay. Let me do this. Talk amongst yourselves. So, this is the best part. In a theoretical, is that what we're saying?
I think so. I think that's what you've been using.
Theoretical. Wrestling Survivor Series elimination match.
Grant's manager is Burke. That's also a great pick.
Of who?
Bertuzzi?
Burke. Oh, Brian Burke. That's a good one. Comprised of current and former Vancouver Canucks players, assuming they are in their prime. Which team would win? Team A. What do you want to be called?
You have to put you must take into account mic skills, or I don't know.
Okay. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Microphone skills.
Saying I was thinking Keenan, but I think Berkey is better built for the WWE.
Microphone skills for cutting promos, entrance music, and overall toughness. Overall crowd appeal.
Yeah, there you go.
Are also factors. Which team would win? So what are you going to be called? Team A, aka
pieces of shit.
Okay. Very original.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's copy here.
In the best way possible. I loved all these players.
Oh yeah. Well, this is yeah.
Yeah.
We got that, and
Cassian.
manager is who's your manager? John Tortorella. John
Yeah.
Tortorella. Team B, aka Punch Drunk. I like that name. Wait, 4. Who was my last one? Who was my last guy that I picked?
Let's check the list here. So your last guy was Cassian.
Zach Cassian, right?
Yeah, good Branson, and then the Casquatch.
Cassian. Manager.
Also like this Torres pick. Cook.
Yeah, I like Grant's team. So we'll add Grant in a second.
Yeah.
We'll add Grant in a second. So, okay, so we're gonna just a second. Let's go to share screen. This is what everybody's been waiting for. This is fun, by the way. This is a random thing that has worked out very well. Punch Drunk as the name of Cassian is a choice. I wasn't really going there, and I'm sorry. Just assume that I just took it for what it was. Don't cancel me because I just randomly said something, which is fine. Whatever. Not enough people. Okay. So, are we all seeing this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll narrate for the people because it's also a podcast. This is an extremely chaotic and brutal Survivor Series style elimination match. I agree. Both teams bring an intense mix of brute force, heel energy, and the occasional technical skill. Let's break it down, DX style, by categories. In-ring style and team cohesion. Team A, pieces of shit, is a team of agitators and trash talkers who know how to push the line without outright getting ejected. Kessler and Burrows are the ultimate pests. Bertuzzi is a wrecking ball. Jovanovski has an underrated toughness. And JT Miller brings that modern-day don't give a F energy. Man, this ChatGPT is our friend. They get it. Team B, Punch Drunk, is literally built for this kind of fight. BX and Rippon are two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in Canucks history. Pat Quinn was legendary for knocking Bobby Orr out in his prime. Branson is a human sledgehammer, and Zach Cassian is pure chaos. Ted, I really don't.
Looking good. It's not looking good.
I might have found my place here. Promo skills for Ted. Teammate easily have the best promo skills. Kessler, Burrows, and Bertuzzi are natural villains on the mic. JT Miller is the guy cursing out the production crew mid promo, while Jovo Koff, like, come on, they're putting that in there. Just throws in cocky one-liners. Tortorella cutting a fiery pre-match promo would get them nuclear heat. I'm excited for you. Punch Drunk. Team doesn't have the same mic skills, but BX is one of the most charismatic Canucks ever. He can cut a witty, tough guy promo and win the crowd. Rippon, Quinn, and Cassian are more of a let their fists do the talking type. So you got the promo skills taken care of. Entrance, music, crowd appeal. Some kind of new metal. Oh, come on. Linkin Park remix that gets the crowd riled up. The boos would be deafening. Team B, a classic rock anthem like Back in Black by AC/DC. The crowd erupts as they walk in with a no-nonsense, ass-kicking vibe. So I think that's a tie for that one. How the match plays out. Early eliminations. Rippon and Kessler immediately throw hands, leading to an insane sequence that ends with both getting eliminated in a double count ball. Like I almost want to see this happen, you know? This is good. This is really good. I'm waiting for every moment. Bertuzzi versus Quinn moment. Oh wow, a classic old school versus new school brawl. Quinn holds his own, but Bertuzzi crushes him with a huge power move for the elimination. That's good. That's good. Burrows uses heel tactics. He low blows Branson when the ref is distracted, leading to a cheap roll-up pin. That's good. Jovanovski gets cocky. He starts showboating, but gets caught by a Cassian sucker punch and eliminated. So we got count out. We got Bertuzzi and Burrows. So you're ahead, Jovo. Final four, Bertuzzi and Miller versus BX and Cassian. It becomes an all-out war. BX goes on a tear. He Superman punches Miller and takes him out.
Oh wow, good pull.
That's what I was going for. Bertuzzi versus BX and Cassian. Bertuzzi fights on both for a while, but the numbers game is too much. Cassian distracts the ref, and BX hits one final massive punch for the 1-2-3.
Wow.
Team BX and Cassian. Team B wins because they are built for violence. While Team A relies more on mind games. BX and Rippin and Quinn set the tone with toughness. Cassian plays the perfect unhinged wild card. Tortorella throws a tantrum post-match, while BX and Cassian celebrate with the fans. Okay.
Is that your first win of the season?
No, it's my second. Oh, no, it's my first legit win.
Okay.
Because the music one.
Congratulations. Big win. That was hilarious.
That was one of our best ones. Not only Stanchion and I know they did the Royal Rumble, which was awesome, and I was thinking about that the entire time. So Grant, we're gonna give you.
That's cool. They did it like this. They did a Royal Rumble.
They did it on whatever wrestling WWE 2K something.
Oh, cool.
So they spent like a month making it, and then had an actual Royal Rumble. So let's add a third team here. Third team enters the mix, consisting of here we go. So we got, how do I do this? So we got Tiger Williams, Max Lapierre. You're gonna have to read them out to me. Tiger Williams.
Yeah, one sec. Tiger Williams, Max Lapierre.
Yeah.
Matt Cook. Heel Mark Messier. And Rafi Torres. Judging by how this went on the first go around, I think I might have to give the advantage to Ryan.
Wait, who's his manager?
His manager is going to be Berkey.
Ryan Burke. Okay, here we go. Oh, what's your team name? Did he say his team name?
He hasn't.
Team Grant. That's not very exciting. The Pests. That's better.
Yeah.
The Pests. Okay. Now we have a full-on wrestling bloodbath. Adding the Pests to the mix makes less of a Survivor Series match, more like an Attitude Era. Oh. Okay, we're gonna try to make this quick. So your team is the dirtiest, sneakiest, most hated group of agitators in Canucks history. Every single guy here knows or is known for their ability to get under opponents' skins, and some, Messier, Cook, and Torres, have legit villain arcs. That's a good play, Grant. Tiger Williams, OG Enforcer, pass combo, racks up the penalty minutes like they're title belts. Max Lapierre, smug smirks, sarcastic claps, and cheap shots galore. Matt Cook, certified menace, lethal or illegal. He's taking someone's knee out. Heel Mark Messier. We're talking about Canucks era Messier, the guy who stole the captaincy from Linden and is universally despised by Vancouver fans. He's basically the Brock Lesnar of the team. Like ChatGPT is just like, I'm going to be your friend, and we're going to be best buds so quickly. Rafi Torres, one of the hardest hitters in the league. He's throwing wild elbows like it's the UFC. Manager Brian Burke, perfect mouthpiece. He's cutting truculence promos and threatening to punch out announcers. This is so great.
Hey.
This is no longer elimination. The ref loses control media, and we're getting run-ins, chair shots, low blows, and weapons before the first elimination. Early chaos. Tiger Williams rides a hockey stick to the ring while flipping off the crowd. Lapierre and Burroughs instantly start chirping each other, leading to a full-on slap fight. That's kind of funny. There we go. Sorry about that. Messier walks to the ring wearing a Rangers jersey just to piss off the crowd. BX and Torres get into a legit slugfest outside the ring. Quinn and Burke start arguing ringside. A fight nearly breaks out between the managers. Cook clips Rippin from behind, leading to a cheap pin. Team Punch Drunk is pissed. Bertuzzi eliminates Cook shortly after with a massive top rope powerbomb. That sounds scary. The crowd pops huge. Tiger Williams grabs a steel chair and starts swinging. The ref throws the rule book out. Jovo takes out Tiger Williams with a chair shot to the head, is eliminated. Bieksa and Mess finally go at it. This is what we've waited for, folks. This is Rock Stone Cold. This is Rock like Hogan. Bieksa hits a huge Superman punch, but Messier no sells it. And does the classic Hulk Hogan comeback. Man, this is so good. Torres knocks Burroughs unconscious with a diving elbow. Burroughs is gone. Kessler rolls up Lapierre using the tights. Huge hypocrite move. Lapierre flips out post-elimination and starts a fight with the timekeeper. Good Branson finally gets eliminated after Torres and Tiger double team him. Final war, 4 men left. Heel Messi and Tiger Williams versus Bertuzzi and Bieksa. So it looks like I got one in the game. You got Bertuzzi is bleeding because of course he is. This is so funny. Bieksa finally takes out Torres with a brutal forearm to the jaw. Messier and Bieksa turns into a stare down. The crowd is going insane. Like, it's popping at this point. It's open air stadium. We're talking like Miami to finish. Bertuzzi and Tiger brawl to the outside. They go through a table. Both are out cold and get double counted out. Bieksa versus Messier. Before I scroll down, what are we thinking?
I'm thinking that if this whole thing is won because of Messier, I'm gonna hate it.
I think wouldn't that would be the perfect finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So,
yeah, Grant, I love this team. But if this team wins and it's Messier, that's the final thing.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. The crowd is firmly behind Bieksa. Messier rakes the ice, then goes for the Canadian scum finisher, aka a cheap shot elbow. Bieksa ducks it, rebounds, and hits a vicious Superman punch. 1, 2, 3. Bieksa wins it for Team Punch Drunk. Bieksa's sole survivor. Bieksa outlasts every villain, every pest, every cheap shot artist to become the ultimate Canucks wrestling champion. The crowd explodes as he stands on the top rope, holding a beer in one hand and pointing at Messier's unconscious body. Brian Burke storms the ring, throws his tie on the ground, challenges Bieksa to a fistfight. Pat Quinn hops in to back up Bieksa, setting up a future main event. Match of the year contender. Weapons, grudges, chair shots, and Bieksa standing tall at the end. This would sell out Rogers Arena twice.
GPT.
I don't even...
It's all
I don't even know.
That was great. That was so much fun.
That was so good. We need to post that script. We really do. Grant, thanks for making that even better than the main match. The fact that just turned like to an epic. Now, Ted, you brought up as a WrestleMania match. That was a WrestleMania match.
Yeah. That was great.
That's you could hold that at BC Place with the roof open, even.
Yeah.
That would be very Vancouver of us. I love it. That was great. What a finish. Okay. We've been doing this for an hour and a half. We had Ryan Schaap from Pucks on Net. They're done. So now it's our time to shine, at least for a couple more weeks this season anyway. It's good to have you back, man.
Yeah,
you're looking refreshed. It's ball season. We're getting close. Can't wait.
Yeah, we never did get that time in on the batting cage. We'll see where this thing goes.
I got a weekend free, so we'll see.
Okay.
I'm available. I know Kinsey would like to. She's ready to. She's ready to make baseball happen too. So
hey, Grant, talk soon.
Grant, love you, buddy. Thanks, man. She's ready to hit some dingers this season. We've been playing catch all week, folks. What a show! That was fun. That was probably the best Chat GPT that we've done so far, and that's right up there with Joan of Arc and all that. So that still happened too. On behalf of Ted, I'm Ryan. This is the PP1 podcast on the Area 51 Sports Network. The Canucks are done, but we are far from it. We still got lots to do. Go Canucks, go.